Blow it outside, just like I like it.
Pretty big fish to fry. That's pretty big fish to fry. My, my. That's pretty big fish to fry. That's pretty big fish to fry. My. Last weekend I barely thought I'd make it out alive. Told myself I'd take time and give some love a try. I was alive. My, my.
Oh, everybody. It is Thursday, February the 8th. For those of you checking us out on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. For those of you Facebook Live, we are Wednesday night, February the 7th. It's Low and Outside. Thanks for taking time, everybody. lowandoutside.com. We do appreciate you taking the time to listen to our nonsense today. We got a stacked show tonight, like a completely stacked show. We got a lot of things we want to get to, we want to talk about. It's a very busy week of sports, even considering the fact that the biggest football game of the year just finished. A lot going on. So let's waste no time, shall we?
Why don't you go back home to your strip malls and drink your Zimas and Smirnoff Ices? Oh yeah! The greatest beer in all the world!
Somebody from the bar.
Yeah, I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. Cause I'm feeling kind of parched.
Stick it in the fridge. Stick it in the fridge. So there was a football game that was played on Sunday. I don't know if you guys are aware. And since I really didn't like either team, what we did was we the people who came by my house, there's just a couple people because, the baby and everything like that, we didn't really want to go out anywhere. We did a blind taste test between Pennsylvania beers and New England beers by styles. So we did IPAs, we did porters, we did stouts, we did all sorts of stuff. So it's really the only way to tolerate another New England Super Bowl. But one of them we had, one of the porters, is a Harpoon Vanilla Bean Porter. Robust, malty, smooth. 5%. Very, very drinkable, very delicious. I like a lot of what Harpoon does. So this is no different.
Great.
Dave Yampo from the nation's capital. Let's see if his microphone's plugged in. How we doing?
I don't know. Is it plugged in? I don't even care.
No, I think you're holding it, but we're using a different one.
How about now?
Now you sound pristine, actually.
Yeah. I'm on fucking tilt right now.
Oh, good. Way to start strong.
Yeah. So I went to the fridge.
Yeah.
And I went and grabbed one of the beers that I went and picked up this weekend because I'm now a beer nerd apparently.
Yeah, you traded. You were making fun of Brett last week.
I did.
Trading beers, and then suddenly now you're like, oh, so I have this underground trade going on.
I traded some beers. I had to also get like an auxiliary fridge because I don't have anywhere to put all these beers. And my wife was like, good luck with that. And my buddy is moving, and he was throwing out in the back of the alley was his tiny like college fridge.
Perfect.
And I was like, you going to use that? He's like, it's in the fucking alley, dude. No.
It's
well, now
back there, actually. That's where I've kept all my beer.
Well, now it's in my basement.
Nice.
Okay. So this is a Manor Hill IPA. It's Crooked Beak. This is a limited release. Hold on, I'm going to pour it. I haven't tasted it. Oh, I'll taste it first. This is new.
Whatever you can pour it. Whatever works for you. I mean, this is,
Oh, man. This is delicious. I'm not going to do it justice by explaining it, but this is a great little brewery up in Columbia, Maryland. Manor Hill. You should check it out.
Manor Hill. All right.
Yeah, this is Crooked Beak. 7.7% alcohol IPA. I'm saving the beer trade one for next week. It's an 11.5.
Ooh, you know what we should do next week? I have an 11% or two. Next week we should just make an 11% show.
Done.
Okay, good.
I'll find one.
So get on that.
Yeah, you got one in the back of your fridge somewhere, Nikki, don't you?
Behind the lettuce.
Does Brooklyn make one? I'm not sure.
By the way, I just want to tell you, I'm back on the sauce. This is the first show back on the sauce.
Nice.
I can't drink nearly as much as I used to. Holy shit. I could barely get down 2 Miller Lights during the
Wow,
Super
1
Bowl.
month off, you're screwed up.
My body says no. That's like that R. Kelly song.
And your liver says, please no. So it's fine.
As he's sitting in a pediatrician's office.
Fuck off.
You are like a couple of Finding Nemo decals away from being a pediatrician's office right there.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice pour.
For all you listeners at home, you can't see that, but
Ooh, that is so unfiltered. That's good.
unfiltered money.
That's good. All right, Parsippany Nikki, what do you got?
I think I had this one a couple weeks ago. It's the Out of Bounds Stout, Avery Brewing Company. 6.3%. It's a nice stout day. I feel like it's snowy, it's slushy, it's cold.
Yeah,
Maybe
Looking
where
like a
you
good
are.
Heavy stout.
very cool.
You guys actually got snow in the greatest state in the union?
Not here.
Hmm.
Not
Well,
down-
you're
not down
at
to
the beach.
No, we had it up here.
This place is a joke. It rained and the school shut down.
No.
Fucking assholes.
I love it. Welcome to the show, everybody. Strap in.
Who cares?
This is clearly the most important thing we could possibly lead with. Today is National Signing Day.
Hit it.
I hate this day.
Who cares?
You know why? Because then they make a commitment, right? And then like in 3 months they decommit and go somewhere else. Because this day means absolutely nothing.
I just like how they sit on some like fugazi dais that they set up at their awful high school.
Ugh.
And they have like these just flat brimmed awful hats.
Number 1 draft pick hats, flat brimmed.
But the dorky athletic directors like stand behind them for a picture.
And there's always some D-bag that has like one shirt on and he takes the shirt off and he's like, just kidding, I'm not going to Notre Dame, I'm Roll Tide. And you're like, just shut the fuck up, you're not gonna play.
Ugh. Did you see the mom of the one guy who got all bent out of shape? What was that guy's name? He was like a top recruit.
No, I didn't see anything about it, but
Oh, so this kid, she's sitting to his right wearing an Alabama sweatshirt and a Tennessee Volunteers toque, like a winter cap.
Right.
And he's got the Alabama hat, Tennessee hat, and then all out of nowhere, he pulls out a Florida Gators hat and puts it on. He commits to Florida, and
Nowhere.
his mom promptly gets up and walks away, gets up and leaves.
Nothing like supporting your kids.
Right? Like, what is wrong with people?
she got up and walked out. She was like, no one from Florida has promised me a house. What are you doing, son?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's crazy.
I just think it's hysterical. Like, I guess Sean, who's refused to come back on the show, like, is actually paying attention to some of these high school recruits. Like, I like the stats. They're like, Georgia right now has the number one. Like, who the fuck knows what any of these high school kids are actually going to project out to be? Don't you remember for years they were talking about Ron Paulus? They're like, Ron Paulus is the best quarterback out of high school. Ron Paulus was pilot dog shit.
How about Jimmy Clausen?
So same thing, right? Like for years, every time a great quarterback would come out and he would commit to Notre Dame, we were like all excited. Then they'd get there and they would be garbage.
How about Brett Matizak? He was one of the most highly touted JV quarterbacks in Del Barton history.
Go green.
Just didn't have it at F&M. Just
Yeah.
couldn't get that full ride at F&M.
Well, to be fair, there were far too many Amish folks around that, the work ethic, you can't really compete with those folks.
No, they are hard workers.
Very hard workers. So did either of you actually pay attention to anything for Sunday?
No.
Why would we?
Good. No, I just want to make sure I'm not alone.
Who cares?
Yankees made a trade today.
Okay, okay.
This is great. This is wonderful.
This isn't great.
Why? This is hilarious.
This doesn't make sense to anybody.
They suddenly acquired someone that
Big name.
The best quarterback in New York now resides on the New York Yankees.
I beg to differ. I think Eli Manning's pretty good.
He's not better.
Nah,
than
he's
Wilson.
not right now.
Not right now. I mean, career. You want to argue career wise? I'm not going to argue it. He's got 2 Super Bowls, but
Okay,
right now, who would you take?
Yeah, come on.
Starting
Sam Darnold.
That's not the question. So they acquired the rights to Russell Wilson, the baseball player, but he's also the football player. It is the same guy.
I thought it was like one of those like trick things where they had the same name and they try to trick you. But I was like, wait a minute, I forgot he was on the Rangers spring training last year.
Yeah, so he's going to come to spring training apparently.
Yeah, but why?
Why not?
I mean, okay, I get it. I guess the why not argument I could be bought into too. But I was reading about it in preparation for the show, and
that's called dedication.
Yeah. I just don't understand what the thought process here is. Like, okay, because the guy is a professional athlete, he's a star with the Seahawks. He can pretty much do whatever he wants. He's like, well, I just kind of want to fuck around with baseball for fun. Like, there are people who are trying to make a career out of baseball. He's taking their spot, and he's just fucking around.
But you got to think the Yankees value something that he brings to the table.
What?
Yeah, attraction for more money. More
exactly.
I can't imagine that's it. I can't imagine that's it. Why would they make the deal for the guy if they didn't think that he had some sort of value at some level?
Cashman said something about his, looking forward to seeing his leadership in the locker room and how he interacts with the team and shit like that. If that's all you're looking, then look. I'm being serious. That's a quote. I mean, that wasn't verbatim, of course.
I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm just saying, like, picture like any other team that has like a fifth string second baseman. They're gonna like talking about his leadership skills in the clubhouse during spring training. That's just so bizarre.
The problem I have, yeah.
Who do you think the better leader in the spring training clubhouse, Russell Wilson or Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow.
I mean, both of them probably could lead an army.
An army for Christ, Nick.
Yeah,
okay, all right, you're right.
I don't understand the appeal of the gimmick of this one. That's why it's in Who Cares for me. It's like the guy is a quarterback. If I'm the Seahawks, do I really want him at spring training messing around? What happens if he gets hurt?
It's got to be in his contract.
Of course. I don't want to dig through the layers of his bullshit contract, but it's like,
serious though, because like a lot of guys, they have it that they can't do certain things. He had to have worked that in that he can still go to spring training.
Right.
No, I get it. I understand how these things work. I think it's stupid, incredibly selfish of him. If he's making a career and a full-time living in a commitment to football, then why does he have to just fuck around in spring training to get attraction and wear pinstripes? Like, I always wanted to be a Yankee. Okay, guess what? Me too. Okay, but you don't see Cashman calling me up, dick.
Yeah, you know what? This goes back to the argument. The kids that play multiple sports are more athletic. The kids that focus in on the one sport always wind up sucking, and they're annoying, and their parents send them on all these travel teams. Play different sports. You're more athletic. Everyone likes you better.
I played multiple sports.
Yeah, so did everyone. Everyone that, was likable.
Oh,
everyone that's likable.
That's a great.
Those like dopey kids.
Great litmus test for likability.
You know those like dopey kids that just play one sport and they just do it year round, and then they like travel all over the country for this one sport, and then they get to that season and they still suck. And the kids that play like multiple sports are better to them. It's like, fuck you.
You got to think part of that's parent driven though.
Yeah, those douchey parents.
The focusing on one sport nonsense.
Yeah.
It's
like, yo, you're a basketball player. Like, we're gonna send you to Florida in the summer, and you're gonna play all blah blah. Then they get to the season, and they're getting stuffed by kids that play 3 sports.
I don't know. I look. What if Russell Wilson is pulling like a Gronkowski, and he realizes that he's not long for football because he's gonna get hit too much, and he wants to see if he can make a go at another sport.
Baseball players have fully guaranteed contracts in the MLB.
Is it that unrealistic? I mean, look, the kid hit. I mean, the guy hit. I think like 230 or something like that in minor league ball, like whenever he played minor league ball or spring training, whatever the hell it was. So clearly he's not, gonna tear the cover off the ball. But Todd Frazier hit 220 last year too, and he just signed a 2-year, $17 million contract with the Mets.
Well, there's a place for people that can play great defense and just hit 230. I mean, your utility player or whatever. I mean, every team has that.
And to be fair, Nick, you're not saying that you even know that that's who he is. Like, he might be a trash defender too. We have no idea. None of us have ever seen him.
Let's just make believe he's a good defender, because short second basemen are great defenders.
It's like Steve Sachs. I don't know. Whatever.
Who cares? Thank you.
Christ, this one might set me off, Yampo.
Okay. Would you like me to read it then?
Yeah.
So Kristaps, and I saw this on Twitter last night. I saw all this unfolding. Kristaps Porzingis tore his ACL, and he's out at least 10 months. That's a long time.
It's a really fucking long time.
Then the Knicks went ahead, turned around, and traded Hernan Gomez, who's been glued to the bench.
Yeah.
For 2 second-round picks.
Off the bench. Kyle O'Quinn is playing minutes like it's his job, but Hernan Gomez can't get off the bench.
Yeah. So we got 2 second-round picks for him and a bag of balls. And meanwhile, Joakim Noah is on indefinite leave and making $18 million a year because that's what I signed up for.
So,
I want to be on indefinite leave for my job.
That's a great deal for him.
Here's my question, right? Because we get there's a Nick bullet later in the thing. So let's put the Knicks aside for a second, right? Porzingis goes down, tore his ACL. This is just off the top of my head. You've got Porzingis is the most recent. Kevin Love, broken hand. John Wall, injured. Boogie Cousins, the freaking
Achilles.
What's his name up in Boston, who totally destroyed his
Gordon Hayward.
Like, I'm not saying that it's got anything to do with each other, right? There's a lot of injuries in one season for the NBA. I've been saying it for years. I think they played too many games. I definitely think they played too many games before the All-Star break. They haven't even hit the All-Star game yet, and there's like 26 games left. Like, why is it so late? Is it because of football? Like, I don't understand what the hell's going on. They've got like 26 games left in the regular season. They haven't even played the All-Star game yet.
Well, I say the same thing about the NHL. I think both leagues have too many games. It almost waters down the product because you get to these games where they're playing back-to-back nights. Teams are hurt. They're sore. I mean, even the Nets had, Jeremy Lin's out for the year. D'Angelo Russell was out for a long period of time. I mean,
not Jeremy Lin.
The league is losing their players.
I left Lin off that list. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
You're a jerk.
We were going through D-list celebrities. Kathy Griffin.
Another one I forgot. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard hasn't played really this year either. So I just there's too many guys missing too much time. The league. There's something wrong with the league right now.
Well, you could go back to the discussion about we've had regarding football and these guys being overworked in terms of the way that their bodies are trained and their musculature and the way that, you see all these guys in football in particular pivoting, putting their foot down. And these hot guys are getting hurt based on potentially overtraining their bodies. Is that possible?
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, they're playing from October or even September. The training camp starts in September and they go all the way to June if you're in the finals. So like LeBron and the Warriors are constantly going September to June.
Not
they
this
get
year.
They get 2 months off and then they're back at it for the grind. And it's like during the season, there's no stopping. I mean, you're practicing or you're playing intense games. I mean, it's bound to happen.
That's why it's even more impressive that LeBron hasn't come down with some major injury. Right? I mean, he sits because everybody in the NBA sits, but he hasn't come down.
His body is built like a Greek god.
And he's locked.
Oh, sounds like somebody really likes LeBron.
I mean, they talk about logging minutes. I don't know.
Logging something.
I just think.
Think the Knicks are going to hit that 41 win threshold?
Not without Porzingis. They're not. Not without
10 months, huh?
The thing of it is, like, if you're the Knicks, well, we're going to get to them. Let's.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we're just talking about the LeBrons. The LeBrons blew a 21-point lead last night against the Magic.
Without Aaron Gordon.
Against the Magic, like one of the worst teams in the league.
Without their best player.
Without their best player. And everybody's like, oh, LeBron should be, he should be traded. He should waive his no trade. Like, what? Like, I don't understand what world we live in. Like this shit like this is exactly why we have this segment. Like there was an article that was like, it was last week. LeBron would consider maybe listening to Golden State, possibly in the stop with the fucking speculation. He's not going anywhere. Not waiving.
He came out and said he's not going anywhere.
Not waiving his no trade clause to go to fucking Minnesota or any other stupid idea. He's not doing it.
And no team's going to take on that dumpster fire of a contract.
Well, I think plenty of teams would take on the contract because it's a 1 year deal. But he's not going to go somewhere mid-year. He's going to finish the year here, and then he's going to leave.
We're going to have a press conference about it?
God. Ugh.
When we're in the playoffs and he's playing in the second, third round, does anyone remember their loss on February 6th? Like, no.
Maybe. It depends.
No, please.
No, I mean, look, it depends on how far they fall. If
they don't look very good. I mean, I watched the majority of that
They look like
Houston. I watched the majority of that Houston game the other night because it was on, and I may or may not have put something on it.
Right.
And they look terrible. I mean,
they're a step down without Kyrie.
They're more than that. They're bad. They're playing bad basketball right now. I mean,
Houston, on the other hand, looked good. I mean, those guys were hitting threes from wherever they wanted behind the arc. Silly.
Well, that's the latest rumor with LeBron is that he's going to find his way there next year. Which, of course,
he's not a Western Conference guy.
Yeah.
I have no basis for saying that, except for the fact that he's only played with Cleveland and the Heat.
But he's not getting traded.
Who cares? It's a lot of basketball here.
First time in NBA history, all of its teams are worth more than $1 billion.
Wow.
How is that possible?
Forbes magazine released.
Even the Magic?
Yeah, Forbes magazine released its annual franchise valuations. The New York Knicks, for the third straight year, topped the list at $3.6 billion, followed by the Lakers at 3.3, the Warriors at 3.1, the Bulls at 2.6, and the Celtics at 2.5.
I don't understand how teams like the Suns or the Magic are worth $1 billion.
Honestly, I think it's the same reason why a lot of those warmer NFL's teams are worth so much money, because they have the stadiums attached to them.
I guess, but it's just hard to believe, I guess.
I do wonder how are they factoring in valuation? You know what I mean? Like, because the Knicks, are they factoring in Madison Square Garden?
They've got to be,
because the Rangers play there too. You know what I mean? So like, is that part of the equation split? Like, I don't know enough about how Forbes went into it. But I would think that a lot of the valuation has to do with whatever building they play in. Although you look at the Lakers share that building with the Clippers, so maybe not.
I'm just waiting for you to hit it.
You don't think it's a big deal that every NBA franchise is worth over $1 billion?
No, I think it is a big deal. I think it's odd. I don't know how we're gonna have to get the stat boy working on the.
I mean, Jeff, are you gonna try to invest in a team, or is that what you're trying to do?
No, but look, $3.6 billion is what Dolan could, in theory, get on the open market for the Knicks. Please, God, somebody fucking buy that team from him for $5 billion and make it worth $7 billion. Because if anybody with any freaking competency was running that team, owned that team,
I'll give you a name.
In the middle of Manhattan, it'd be worth way more than $3.6 billion.
I'll give you a name. Vince McMahon. Come on.
Welcome to the XBA.
Joint ownership. Vince McMahon and Donald Trump owning the Knicks and Rangers.
That would be it.
We're not gonna have jump balls. We're gonna jump balls.
They're gonna have a tough time finding people to play in that league.
The XBA.
You can only play her if you are a criminal.
Yeah. Oh man, this stinks.
I don't know.
Who cares?
Okay, let's take a deep breath. Super Bowl.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Shut up. Why don't you throw it to Brett real quick? Throw it to Brett.
Okay,
guys. Well, it was just unfortunate. I had my new kid born, and Brady just ran out of gas. I mean, he was playing well the whole game. He threw 500 yards. How much more do you want him to do?
That's actually not untrue. I mean, everybody wants to kill the guy, but he did throw for 500 yards, no picks, and lost it.
Yeah,
Good luck, I would say, Lions.
This loss goes on his head, but it's not really justified considering he played so well. But he also won a couple of Super Bowls where he hasn't played that well earlier in his career, and they won, but he gets the win. So I guess it's evens out.
That was nice. That was a nice Justin Timberlake tie-in to the Super Bowl, and well done.
What did I say?
Justified.
I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, that was intentional.
That was his album, you fucking child.
Well, to be fair, he was probably in like
he probably was 13. But I would peg Nick for a 13-year-old JT listener.
Did you see the
what year was
Vice
that?
Sports article? I think I sent it to the group. Did you guys read it or no?
Yeah, I didn't read it. No.
It's well worth a read. He goes through the Super Bowls that they won I'm just gonna read them for you real fast because it's funny. And again, take no credit for it. Vice Sports, Super Bowl, whatever against the Rams, the cheating against the Rams.
Wait, hold on. Because you can't read the Roman numerals, we're gonna let you get away with Super Bowl, whatever.
Would you like me to read the Roman numerals?
Yes, I would.
Super Bowl 36 against the Rams. Cheating against the Rams. Probable win that became more probable because the Patriots videotaped the Rams. Okay. Super Bowl 38. You like it? I'm still reading the Roman.
Yeah, good job.
Wow, beating a Panthers team that missed 2 2-point conversions, and it only took a last-second field goal by Adam Vinatieri. You know who else
Jake Delhomme.
You know who else beat Jake Delhomme that year? Tony Banks. Wow.
Oh man, that's bad.
Super Bowl 29, still going strong right here with the Roman numerals.
You went backwards.
39.
39. The other team's coach was Andy Reid, and Donovan McNabb puked during the game. Winning by 3 should count as a loss.
This is where it gets hard for you to read.
I don't know what these are. I got nothing for these. The only reason the Patriots
45.
The only reason the Patriots beat a coach who believes Instagram videos prove a 9/11 conspiracy is that said coach called for a pass at the goal line with one of the greatest running backs in history. Yeah,
Idiot.
great job.
Idiot.
And then last year, thanks to the greatest choke of all time, the Patriots beat the Falcons.
All true.
They could easily be borderline Buffalo Bills if fate didn't go their way.
The only other thing I will read from this article, and again, if you hate the Pats, you have to check out Vice Sports from this article. This is maybe the funniest paragraph that anyone has ever written about Tom Brady or the Patriots, and that's definitely hyperbolic. But just listen. It's only because of sheer luck the Patriots aren't 0-8 in Super Bowls, and yet you want me to believe a quarterback who drinks bean juice, sleeps in magic pajamas, and is barely above 500, even with the benefit of winning at least 2 titles thanks to cheating that wasn't punished until after it happened, is the best of all time.
Hold on a second. How is he barely? He's barely over 500 in his career.
In the Super Bowl, he's 5-3.
Oh, just Super Bowl. Got it.
But imagine the narrative if, let's just say they won the first 3, right? They won them, whatever. If they lost against Seattle and Atlanta, which both could have easily happened, imagine them being 0-5 in their last 5 Super Bowls. How bad would that look?
That'd be awesome.
It would
I know,
be.
but I'm saying, like, everyone just, sends him to be, the best, blah, blah, blah. If they lose those games that they probably should have, then
here for me in
different narrative.
fandom. Here for me in fandom is the worst part about the Pats losing is, then you get this spin from all Pats fans. Well, it's okay. It was hard. It's hard to watch the team lose, but we got 5 Super Bowls in the last X years. It's like, we're there. We're playing every year. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Just stick it.
Shut up.
I agree.
Fucking assholes. At least my team beat them twice.
Do you think that it does anything to Brady's legacy?
No.
Not really.
This game's totally not on him.
Definitely not. If he threw like 3 picks or something and they lost, that's a different story. But he threw for 505 yards. I mean, come on.
They didn't even punt. They didn't punt.
They didn't punt once. If it wasn't for their stupid kicker, maybe they would have gotten a better chance and their defense.
So Matt Patricia.
Yeah, adios.
Oof. That is not a. It's a good thing that he had agreed in principle.
I feel bad for my wife because that pick went from, or that head coaching job went from looking like a good opportunity to a turd fest now with Patricia. I mean, he's not even going to know what to do. I said weeks ago that those guys are nothing without Bill Belichick. We're going to find out very quickly.
Well, I think the offensive people that Belichick has had have turned out to be good guys like Bill O'Brien and McDaniels because they actually own that side of the ball, right? When Belichick has these defensive coordinators, Belichick's the one that's really, styling up and creating the defenses where these guys are kind of like puppets. So he's going to go to Detroit and he's going to have stick up his ass, not knowing what the hell to do.
I think he'll be fine. Honestly, I don't think he'll be great. I don't think he's going to be a coach of the year. I don't think he's going to, do anything terrific with the team. But I don't think he's going to be any worse than Jim Caldwell was. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
that's fair.
I mean, the expectations are what they are, right?
They are who we thought they were.
You missed. I was about to hit it, so you did it instead.
Go ahead.
Who needs a soundboard when you have Gampo? Really?
Yeah, you don't. So let's talk about Nick Foles.
All right. So Nick Foles.
This is like the worst possible outcome for all Eagles fans, in my opinion, because this just creates months and months of offseason rhetoric instead of them being able. Hold on. Just hear me out before you interrupt.
I don't think he's going where you think he's going.
Hear me out before you interrupt me, you jerk off.
Okay.
They have months and months and months of having to deal with people be like, well, is Carson Wentz's knee is he gonna come back? Is he gonna be all right full time? What do you do with this? The fact that he won the MVP. Do you trade him? Do you try and get rid of him now? Do you hold on to him? Do you wait and see? It's like they can't even enjoy it. And by the way, I hate the Eagles. Okay, as a Giants fan, I hate the Eagles. So I don't feel bad for any of their fans, but they're about to endure an offseason of just Nick Foles, Carson Wentz bullshit.
I just think that they would do well for the Eagles to post that poster that you have behind you up on the wall at the stadium so that they would learn to share their toys.
It would be nice if they would share their toys because they're going to have to share either Wentz or Foles. Are you telling me right now if the Browns offered their first and fourth pick this year and the number 1 next year for Carson Wentz, they wouldn't take it right now?
No way. No way.
They're not giving him up for anything.
Why would you?
Nick Foles is Joe Flacco 2.0. I mean, he had a great postseason. What?
This is the bullshit we're going to hear all offseason.
I think Nick Foles is the 2018 NFL league version of Jeff Hostetler. If the Giants game occurred this year, you would still have had a backup quarterback throw for over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Like that's just what the league is this year. So he's a.
You mean Gino?
He's an excellent. No, he's an excellent backup quarterback. How could you? You're telling me, first of all, why would Cleveland want it?
I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you. I'm sharing some of the things I've been hearing already, and some of the bullshit stories that the sports media are creating in order to just drive this non-story. Carson Wentz is their quarterback. Period. End of story.
If anything, the Eagles are going to
just got Foles paid.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to move Foles, don't you think?
I think they probably have to hold on to him. At
For
least
security reasons.
Well, they got to hold on to him until Wentz is back and fully healthy and playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? There's no reason not to.
I would, but I would think if any move was going to be made, it would be to move Foles.
Well,
yeah,
yes,
of course.
But let's remember Wentz got hurt late in the year, so like his knee might not be ready for training camp. So you might want to have a guy like Foles come in there and at least start the season.
But trust me, I don't think you should move him at all. But
I mean, if you get rid of him, who are you going to sign as a backup? A guy like Matt Barkley or something? Nate Sudfeld?
Sudfeld, whatever his name is. Stupid Sudley. Who the hell is Sudley?
I thought that was a joke, like you knew the guy. Like, oh, Sudley. Hey, Sudley, how you doing?
They got Sudley. Jerk off.
What was the name of the guy that Francesa thought was the backup in Oakland? McCluffernuss.
McCluffernuss.
Matt
McCluffernuss.
Yeah, Matt McCluffernuss.
Idiot. Shut up.
Have you ever heard him on The Ringer?
The Ringer. Yeah.
Him and Bill Simmons have like virtual sex with each other.
Yeah, that's good. I gotta go see about a girl. Yeah.
I enjoy that, but okay.
You know what I did enjoy was I've been checking out the rewatchables.
Oh, did you listen to the Good Will Hunting?
Good Will Hunting one.
I haven't listened to it yet. Don't ruin it.
It's on point. You got to check that out.
I'm glad you're still listening to the rewatchables.
I only really listen to the ones that I really want to, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Me too. I don't listen to like the chick flick ones they pull out.
I did listen to 10 Things I Hate About You.
I
did. It was good. It was good. Only because Heath Ledger. That's why I listened to it. It was good.
Heath Ledger.
And Shakespeare.
Heath Ledger. That's a good one. Did you just come up with that one?
No, I've been holding that one in the arsenal for a while.
Waiting for his name to get brought up.
I've been waiting 74 episodes for you to say Heath Ledger.
Malcolm Butler. What's the story?
I'm smoking weed.
Do you think that's really what it was? Because he's denied it, and Belichick has not said it was a discipline issue. So, like, what do you think's like? I mean, yeah, but you said you had plenty to say. What do you think the story is? Does it matter? Number one.
At this point, I don't think it. I mean, well, it matters for the future. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's a free agent, so it's not.
It matters. It matters for the future of his career. I mean, teams are going to take a long, hard look at this guy. If the rumors about him, being out and breaking curfew and drinking or whatever.
Long and hard.
Okay, listen. Is that the kind of guy you want on your team? He can't even make it in for curfew the night of Super Bowl, for crying out loud. Is that the kind of guy you want on your team?
Denies it. He says he was there.
Denial's more than a river in Egypt.
Oh.
Okay.
He says he was there. So you know, and
Okay, so what happened?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Is this going to go on Unsolved Mysteries? Can we bring back what's his name?
It'll be on Cold Case in 10 years.
It'd be good.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
Remember Unsolved Mysteries? What a great show. I used to watch that and Rescue 911. That was like epic 30-minute back-to-back.
And a belly to belly.
But did Belichick even say anything like it was a disciplinary issue or not? Because like at least some coaches will come out and say it was a personal decision or it was a team decision. Belichick doesn't say shit.
Todd Bowles the same way. Like they're like, why didn't he play against a coach's decision? You're like, shut up, give me something. He's like, it's coach's decision.
Coach's decision.
Coach's
But he had a bad week of practice with coach's decision.
He obviously was upset because he was crying, obviously, during the national anthem. So he's visibly upset at either a decision he made or a decision that was made for him. So
or he hates America.
Doubtful.
Or loves America.
Or
plot twist.
America. Yeah.
The good thing for him is if there was no criminal case against him for this supposed marijuana, he could play in the XFL.
Or he cry every week at the end.
Gave up on me. He said the Patriots gave up on me. Fuck it.
Well, we would know more about this, except for the fact that his offensive coordinator coach decided to steal the thunder.
True. Do you want to just go to that? Because there's plenty to talk about with that.
Coward bitch.
There's more to talk about with that than there is with Malcolm Butler. I mean, this is not the first time a player's been benched for missing curfew or doing something stupid. And quite frankly, you know, did it cost him the Super Bowl? No. Was it odd that he didn't play?
I think it might have, to be honest with you. The guy played 97.6% of the defensive snaps this year, and then he doesn't play a single snap in the Super Bowl, and the other team lights up their defense.
Well, he did play on special teams, though.
That's something I don't get. Like if
so, it's like, all right, you were going to bench you on defense, but go out there on the punt team.
If he broke curfew, or if he got caught with drugs or whatever, the guy should have been in street clothes, or he shouldn't have been on the sideline. Like, just stop. Enough. But you know, clearly Belichick didn't go that way. So whatever. You know, couldn't happen to a better team. You know,
Amen to that.
The coordinator shit is laughable because you know, I just watched that Belichick and Parcells 30 for 30, which I don't know if either of you saw it.
I didn't see
halfway through it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And every single thing. Did you hit any of the Jets part yet or no?
No.
So every single thing that goes on with the Jets, with Parcells stepping down, Belichick becoming the head coach, Belichick saying, I've had enough, fuck you. And then he goes to New England. Like, the dynamic there is so strangely similar to what's going on here. But you can tell that because Belichick went through that as in the role that McDaniels is in now, I think he's attempting to handle a little bit differently. And I think that's what you're seeing here, is that he basically looked at him and was like, listen, I'm not going to do this forever. I'm 65 years old. Even if I hang on for another 5 years, this is yours. So let's groom you for what it's going to be. And then you can have 20 years of this job, set up.
Yeah, but Belichick has all the success because Brady's there. What happens when Brady leaves too? Then he's shit out of luck with no quarterback.
They got Hoyer.
I mean, seriously though.
I can't wait.
When you take your chances with even though he's injured, Andrew Luck versus, Tom Brady says, "All right, see ya." Belichick says, "See ya, good luck."
So you think that he should have went?
I think he should, because then he's following in Belichick's footsteps in New England, and if Brady's gone, then he's pretty much starting from the bottom up. At least Indianapolis has a quarterback.
You know what they say about starting from the bottom.
Now we hear.
I
listen to Drake too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of buzzed.
It's like a freshman at the frat party after they give him a couple beers.
Yeah,
so but what's your name, son? David.
Hey, babe.
Miss you.
I want me going to a podcast. All right, you had a take, Ampo, and I jumped in front of you. What your honest take on the entire thing?
Of Josh?
The McDaniels nonsense, yeah.
Well, I just don't see how this guy's ever going to be able to get a job outside of the Patriots again, quite frankly. I mean, do you?
Maybe he doesn't want one.
I mean, what team in their right mind? Yeah, that's fair. But what team in their right mind is gonna? I mean, this is his agent split from him after this happened. I mean, this is the definition of unprofessional.
I love that his agent bailed.
The agent was like, "You idiot!"
To be fair, his agent is also the agent of the Colts GM.
And the Colts GM was like, "Did you see him?" He's like, "The rivalry is back." It's like, no, your team still sucks.
Yeah, without your quarterback, you're still trash. How about that?
The best is all the visors and all the emails out to the season ticket holders for the Colts and all the visors coming to town, all this bullshit that went out. Ooh, we got to retract all that. Boo.
And now they're left with like a shit pool of coaches to choose from now.
This is just going to add fuel to the Patriots are a scumbag piece of shit organization that keeps winning. Fire. It's going to keep. I mean, people are just going to want to. I mean, Josh McDaniels is a piece of shit. He already was kind of a piece of shit, and now it's like, no, you really are a piece of shit. We thought you were a good guy. You're not.
I'm good with all that. The more hate that can be thrown that franchise way, I'm good with.
But did you hear that the story? The detail was like McDaniels accepted. He was ready to go. He went to apparently go back to Foxborough office to go get his shit. And Belichick and Kraft cornered him, and then they sat him down for 3 hours, and then he changed his mind. You're really that easily persuaded that you're ready to pack up and go, and then they say don't go, and you're like, all right.
Well,
I think
why wouldn't this conversation happen before all this took place?
I think it probably did. But what are you gonna say, Dave?
I think the other thing that we're not thinking about, just because it's obviously more entertaining just to talk about McDaniels, but I think this also impacts the way that teams look for coaches moving forward. I mean, he's now kind of impacted the way the teams are going to deal with this process. Now, I'm not saying, you got to punish everyone because of one bad apple, but I think teams are going to be a little more cautious now with all the, and I said weeks ago, I didn't really like this, the way that things went down with negotiating for coaches who are still playing. And it doesn't feel right to me. I get it, but it just doesn't feel right. And this is a perfect example of it biting him in the ass.
Then I think, and I don't disagree with you. I think there's validity to that.
Then you agree with me. Don't disagree. Just agree.
I partially agree with you.
Yeah, but it worked out fine for Patricia and Pat Shurmur.
No, see, here's where I agree with you that it's not good to do all that and that they shouldn't do it. But then I think that you shouldn't just have the limitation on the guys that are tied to teams that are still playing. I think no team should be able to hire their head coach till after the Super Bowl. Period. If you want to fire a guy at the end of the season because your team was a dumpster fire and you won 2 games, that's fine. But you can't hire your head coach once the regular season ends. You can't hire a head coach until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Then you end this nonsense. Then everybody has a level playing field. But to go back to McDaniels, to play the devil's advocate for a second, quite literally the devil's advocate when you're talking about New England. Yampo, you're a better example for this because this is apparently what they talk to. You got a wife and kids, and apparently that's the card they pulled was, your kids are, 12, 6 and 5 or whatever the hell they are. We're going to make you a 10-year deal to be the offensive coordinator and the next head coach. Your kids are going to have stability. Your youngest kid is going to be, almost through high school by the time this contract runs out. And it's going to be a guaranteed money. Do you want to move your kids to friggin' Indianapolis, or do you want them to stay where they've been for the last, 7 or 8 years? And you don't have to move. You don't have to pick up and go across country, go work for people you don't know, inherit problems that you didn't create. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with that.
I'll agree with that. There's certainly some consideration to, and you see this with players too, making decisions to stay in certain areas because it's home to them and whatever. But, he can be quote unquote promised the head coaching job all you want. But in this business, you're not promised anything until the ink is dry. So just because they say to him, oh, stay here, we'll groom you, blah, 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 that doesn't mean that, this team's not going to go south in a couple of years and everyone gets fucking canned and he ends up going, out the tubes too. It's just, you have to make a decision. McDaniels has to say, I can take this opportunity right now to be a head coach, or I can stay here and ruin the rest of my career being an assistant under Belichick and hopefully take this team over.
You don't think that it's different because he's been a head coach?
No. He was a head coach for a hot minute and he stunk.
He didn't stink. He didn't stink at all. He was a head coach, I think, for either 3 or 4 years. One of those years was really good, and then
Definitely wasn't 4. If it was 4, then
It
I'm
was
an
like
idiot.
11-20 or something.
Google it.
That was with like Kyle Orton and Tim Tebow.
Those are great quarterbacks.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe he factored into like, what if Andrew Luck can't fucking play anymore, and then he's stuck with, God knows what in Indianapolis. Maybe he thinks, oh, I better not do that again. But at the same time, like I said, Brady's not going to be playing forever. So as much as we want to talk about him being, beating time, I give him another 2 years, and then I think he's going to be out.
I was wrong. It was 2 years.
Yeah.
He went 8-8 his first year.
3-9 in year 2.
3-9 year 2.
11-20. Or no,
Someone
11
did it
and
now.
whatever.
Showing off that Parsippany math.
So I'm just saying, if he wants to be a head coach somewhere else, I mean, I get it, Jeff. I hear you. The whole thing that he's been there for a long time and his family is comfortable there and his kids are stable there. I get that. But you know what? When you're in that family environment of working in sports, the family signs up for that lifestyle. And part of the risk is you move around.
I agree with you. But my issue is if you're going to make $7 million a year to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and you have to move to Indianapolis and you have to pick up your life and do all those things, and they come to you and they say, we're gonna double the length of the contract they're offering you in Indianapolis, and we're gonna pay you $6 million to be a coordinator. I think I'm staying. I don't think I'm going.
Well, then all the more reason for him to not have had. Then the fault here is really on the conversations that happened as we're talking about beforehand.
Right. And you never say yes. Like you don't commit to it.
That's right.
You go back to your current employer and you say, look, this is the deal. I don't want to go. I'd rather stay here. Can we work something out here? You initiate that freaking conversation.
Exactly.
And then if they walk away from that conversation and don't come to the table, then
you take it.
But I don't like that we're making him out to be the bad guy here when, he might have made the right decision for his family. I just don't like the way it went down.
I would agree. I don't like the way it went down. I still think he stinks on ice.
Oh, I do too. And I hope that, Brady blows out his knee and then they have to play, who's the backup? Brian Hoyer.
Hell yeah.
Hope he dies of gonorrhea and rots in hell.
Do you think this is the end?
I think there's a couple more years of this team being competitive until Brady's out. They fucked themselves by getting rid of Jimmy G. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Who are they gonna? They're gonna have to draft a quarterback or trade for somebody. Actually, what am I talking about? This is classic Belichick. He's gonna pull somebody out of the fucking dumpster pile. Some Ryan Nassib, some asshole who just stinks, and all of a sudden he's gonna be lighting it up.
Some asshole.
You're not wrong. Do you think it's over, Nick, or do you think we still have like 4 or 5 more years of this?
I give it 2 more years of misery. 2 more years.
How long can this fucking guy still play for?
Honestly, I think 2 more years of solid play, and honestly, all it takes is one injury. Like what happened to Peyton Manning with his neck, he was never the same after that. It takes one injury.
Peyton Manning
and sleeps in magic pajamas. He doesn't get injured.
All it takes is one step on his neck by Ndamukong Suh, and he might be out. I'd buy a commission.
I'd buy a Sue jersey if he knocked him in.
I mean, between Leonard Williams and Ndamukong Suh and whoever the Bills have, someone's got to step on his neck.
If Sue ends his career, I will drink the remainder of this MD 2020 that's sitting over here to my left.
A teal one.
Is it not refrigerated?
It's in my basement. Might as well be.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting nauseous thinking about it.
Me too.
That might be just the fact that I'm drunk.
It's pretty nauseating.
You're drunk.
Well, I'm not drunk. I'm just buzzed.
He's had a beer. I mean, to be fair.
I've had 7.7 beer.
I said a beer, let alone many beers.
A beer.
Listen, share your toys. Say I'm sorry. These are all things that are very important in raising children. And this is why I decided to forego the opportunity to be the head coach at Parsippany High. Yeah. And I am staying with Bethesda Chevy Chase High School.
Right. Smile.
As the curling coach.
Smile.
The curling coach. How much does that position get paid?
$40K.
Wow.
Plus bennies.
Listen, it's on this wall. Try new things. So he's
Try new things.
Don't hate on the playroom.
I
It's a
love
magical place.
Favorite. It's my favorite part of you,
I'm
right?
sitting on a tiny chair too. That's the best part. My knees are in my chest.
Especially because you're not a small dude.
I'm 6'3".
Yeah, the way that the computer's angled just makes it look funnier.
Well, Nick, we've never met, but I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. I'm a big boy.
You're 240?
7'4", 500 pounds from Grenoble, France.
You're talking to a starting offensive lineman on the 2000 Delbarton State Champion. Oh wait, we lost.
Were you a guard?
I was a guard.
Nice, strong pulling guard, right?
Pulling guard. I like to open those holes for Jermaine Pugh.
Oh,
These hot guys. I bet you do.
Where did Brett play?
Brett played left out because he quit. He quit junior year.
Ah, what a pussy.
Come on. Hang on.
He was too busy playing baseball. He was focused on being a overweight first baseman.
Overweight first baseman. A Mo Vaughn type.
He was Mo Vaughn before Mo Vaughn was Mo Vaughn.
That's a good
I can't wait to listen. I can't wait till he listens to this.
He said he was going to maybe try to pop on. That didn't.
I think the reason that he quit was because his junior year he was playing quarterback. He was the starting quarterback on JV, and so there were a bunch of us that popped down and played, JV.
Jared Lorenzen on JV.
Yeah, and we would get back to the huddle, and I played tight end at the time, junior year, and we were all just basically asking him to throw us the ball, and he hated it. He would call play, and everyone would be like, "I'm open, I'm open, I'm open." He'd be like, "Everyone, just shut the fuck up! I'm running the goddamn play," and he hated it so much that he just quit.
He did that in 8th grade.
So it's your fault.
He didn't quit, but he did that in 8th grade. Told everybody, "Shut the fuck up and play."
He did throw me 2 touchdowns in JV, which is pretty amazing. It's fun.
He used to throw the ball to Paul
Jared Shrek.
Paul Sperone, who's also disappeared from our show.
Is he alive?
We get a lot of guys that just stop coming on. Maybe it's us because the 3 of us have kept coming.
Well, I had to come back on this week because last week listening to you two turd Fergusons, I mean, you didn't even know, Nick, that you have to hit the net on the fucking hardest shot competition for it to count, you asshole. You guys were talking about the NHL All-Star game and the skills competition, and you were like,
"Yeah, but I don't pay attention to where the hell they're shooting it."
Who cares?
Oh, sorry. Did I fall asleep for an hour?
Whatever.
All right, let's end the show.
Hang on, bartender. Give me one more of those scotch and Peptos. I got a case of squirts, but I still want to drink.
A last call. Okay, we're shutting her down tonight. Yempo, you got anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to bring to the table here?
Oof. We talked about the doctor. What was that doctor's name? Nasser.
We've talked about that scumbag.
Yeah, no, I know. But did you see the video last week or early last week
of the dad?
Of
the dad who said to the judge
exactly what any one of us would have done.
It's what you guys were talking about at the end of the show. Just give me 5 minutes in the dark room with him. And the judge was like, "Sir, I can't." He's like, "Give me 1 minute." And she's like, "Sir, that's not how this legal."
And then he's like,
then he said, "Fuck it," and just jumped over the bench and went after him. Oh, savage.
It might have been, I thought it was Brett, but it could have been somebody else. So it was like really court cops. You couldn't just have been pretending to tie your shoe or something for just a half a second and let the guy actually
get like one punch in.
Just one shot.
And then pretend to be alarmed. They're like, "Oh, I gotta restrain him."
But on a lighter note, I have a couple things that we could talk about real quick. Well, maybe not anything we're going to talk about, but things we're going to prep for. Next week is 11+% week on the show.
Yep.
It's a tradition. It's a tradition we're going to start during Valentine's Day week.
Like no other.
We're also going to have return of Just the Tips.
Yep.
Yes.
As well as some exciting Olympic discussion.
True.
Maybe some action on over/under gold medals won by the U.S.
How about we do that and we do over/under
medals won by the unified Korean team.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go over/under 1. There's some interesting odds. Denmark is 12-1 to win curling. That's interesting. You're looking for a flyer.
Only you would know that.
What kind of degenerate do you really have to be to bet on curling?
Denmark.
It's got to be out of control.
What's your favorite? First of all, do you like Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics?
Do I like the summer better.
Nick?
I like the winter.
Yeah,
because of the hockey. However,
Oh,
I checked the U.S. schedule and they're playing like 7 in the morning or 10:30 at night.
oh. This
Like
is
the first two games are 7 in the morning on weekdays, and then they play like at 10:30 at night on like a random Friday.
This is like 4 years ago when they played at like 7 in the morning or like 8 in the morning
It's
or something.
so annoying.
Brutal. God, why do the Olympics have to be anywhere but America?
Only Eastern Standard Time.
Selfish.
That goes into their thought process.
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone in Maryland that wants us to be in the United States. We should really.
People are really upset. I mean, people who are hockey purists are a little perturbed about not having some of the best players in the world play for their country. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the hockey competition shakes up. I'm interested. I mean, my wife would tell you I'm a hockey nerd, and I look forward to Olympic hockey. But now I'm a little kind of not as excited. Who cares?
Okay.
You don't care? How do you not care about Olympic hockey?
What else? You said you had something else, or was that the end of what you had?
That was it. 11%, 11%ers, just the tips, and then the Olympics. Get ready. Next week's going to be wild.
Wild and crazy. Nick, what do you got?
Oh, well, in regards to the Olympics, did you know that the condom companies sent about 10,000 condoms to South Korea for the Olympians?
Try sending some to China. They have way too many people.
I don't understand. These people are doing these competitions and then they're going at it at night. Aren't they tired?
You know what I think would have been good? A co-branding opportunity there, because they're athletes. That they don't want them to go at it.
They're mathletes.
They could have just sent condoms branded with the Nike swoosh.
But now I'm picturing like all these people from different countries, not even speaking the same language, just going up to each other's tents like,
It's like Grindr. It's the same thing.
God.
I mean, that's what someone told me.
there's the the urban legend about the Kembe Mutombo, right?
No.
How when he was not wagging the finger, when he was at Georgetown, he didn't have any command of the English language, but because he was on the basketball team, yeah, obviously he was, in more ways than one, big man on campus. So he would walk into a party and he would just sit down on the couch and stretch his arms out to be the entire length of the couch, and he would just say, "Who wants to sex Dikembe?"
No.
The only thing he could say in English was, "Who wants to sex Dikembe?"
Me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that.
in.
You're in.
I'm in.
Your neck of the woods.
No, I think he's in, Dave.
$20, $20.
Joke's on you. Yay. Upset alert right now, although it's very, very close. The number one team in the country, the Villanova Wildcats, are down 1.
They're playing St. John's?
To the St. John's Red Storm.
Oh, Chris Mullins got that team fired up.
But you wouldn't know that because all that fucking ESPN cares about on the front of their page is fucking LeBron and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is ridiculous.
Well, they also care about Duke Carolina, which is tonight too.
Ooh, that's a great one.
But you've got 23 seconds left in this game.
Ooh, Villanova just hit a 3.
Did they? To go up?
Now they're down 74-73.
Yeah, that was the last one. By the time we go off tonight, this game will be over and we will have no score. So,
Go
job.
fuck yourself, San Diego.
Good job. What can happen? Thanks for taking the time. Hit us up on all socials, and we'll catch you next week.
Desperandum, dear lady, across the desert lies the promised land.
Oh wait, before we do that, Baby Bella, welcome.
Desperandum, dear lady, across the desert lies the promised land.
Your father's football team sucks. See ya.
Adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit, farewell.
Fare thee well to you, my own true love. River Mercy, fare thee well. I am bound for California, a place that I know.
Hello.
Was that done? Was that it?
I return united we will be.
We're done, boys.
I gotta go to bed. I'm so drunk.
Good. Have someone help you to bed.
I'm just old and tired.